in the last 100 years, we've successfully invented and exported 5 different art forms. Basically gospel, blues, rhythm and blues, rock and roll, jazz, and country and western. It's one of the great American exports that we've taken around the world in the last 20 years. And a multi-billion-dollar business has been created around this art form. And pop music in particular was the most dominant. And in London, where I was, it was sort of the hotbed of the whole revolution as far as Europe was concerned. In those days, a new word was invented called hard rock, which was attributed to Jimi Hendrix and Clapton and Jimmy Page and some of the great players. When we opened the Hard Rock in London, first of all, there was no American restaurant in Europe, so it really became the first American restaurant. But more importantly, it really became the first classless restaurant in the UK. When I moved there, there was no place where a baker and a banker were allowed to commune. So the choice of putting the Hard Rock Cafe across from Buckingham Palace in the middle of the high rent district in Mayfair was the perfect incongruent sort of piece missing from the image that I was trying to create. And sure enough, I thought I had died and gone to heaven when 3 weeks later the place was filled with famous musicians, where the Beatles were sitting over here and Jimi Hendrix over there. The Hard Rock in London became this mecca, and it's important to understand that you do not exploit culture. You have to earn the right to represent it. And that's what we spent the first 15 years really doing, really courting the entire industry. We were backstage, or we were, at the recording studio. We collected all of their memorabilia, their gold records, their guitars, and so forth and so on. And people would come in to see them. I think the most exciting moment of my career was the first guitar I got, which was given to me by Eric Clapton. And we put it up on the wall, and it was because the music industry hung out there continuously. It went through the whole music industry that I've taken this guitar and put it up on the wall. No one had ever seen something like that before. So we realized we were onto a good thing, because it was a form of immortalizing heroes, young heroes, almost instantly. When you start doing, as we did in London, $20 million in sales a year, you're no longer a restaurant. You're a cultural phenomenon. And we sort of represented, in a sense, I guess, this great American genre. And we took it all over the world. We were just as popular in Tokyo as we were in London, or Stockholm, or Reykjavik, now Berlin, Paris. We had a very, very simple formula to break the name, and that was using the new communication. So we would either be on MTV, Entertainment Tonight, CNN, or it could be USA Today or Rolling Stone. We had a very simple goal. We wanted to get 50 million consumer impressions a month. Out of the 2-year program that we had, we only missed 2 months in getting 50 million consumer impressions. Very quickly, it became a household word in the United States. In New York, we were doing $24, $25 million a year in sales. The last place that I negotiated, Orlando, does about $40 million in sales. This is not a restaurant. This is a cultural phenomenon based on music. And then in '88, I decided to retire. I'd been working for 20 years to the day, actually, on the project. And I had taken it public. The name had been broken. There were many, many cities that we had developed to move into, so there really wasn't too much more for me to do. But I kept looking at what was going on in music. It was very interesting to me to watch the granddaddy of them all, blues music. People are looking for things that are real, things they can relate to, things that have depth. The blues is a natural. Suddenly, blues became this all-American genre for the whole family with a broad demographic. Now you have cities like, that started the blues explosion, like Chicago, getting 500,000 people over 2 days to come to their blues festival. I saw the opportunity, which I never thought I would see in my lifetime again, is taking a culture and putting an umbrella over it, creating an icon, creating the trademark that the marketplace relates to in terms of that culture. This opportunity is with blues. How do we do this? How do we begin? Where do we begin? Well, it only took about 5 minutes to realize where you must begin, and that is Harvard Square in Cambridge, Massachusetts. We launched it there, and it was so exciting to watch the House of Blues explode from the very first day that we opened. is one of the most exciting things that I've ever had the opportunity to do, even more exciting than the Hard Rock Cafe. And Dan Aykroyd as Elwood Blues was a natural to be a spokesperson for the House of Blues.
We feel very honored to be here in this academic community. You'll see our club is a celebration of African-American vitality. When Led Zeppelin cut Whole Lotta Love, man, that sent blues right through the roof. People were going, who wrote that song, man? And finding out that it's a blues tune. You've got young musicians going around listening to heavy metal, realizing, hey, blues is the origin of it all. So it's never left us.
Danny came on board not only as a friend and partner, but a major investor in the project. We decided that we needed institutional partners. We wanted to be well-financed. We had Montgomery Securities out of San Francisco do a private placement with us. We raised approximately $32 million in this private placement issue to open a series of House of Blues in the United States.
We thought we'd build a temple to the blues that harkens back to the rural South. What it does is reminds us that this came out of, hard scrabble times and essentially is a rural thing and is the basis of all American music.
John Belushi and I did together put together the original Blues Brothers band for that first record that we made. And I was really happy that they called me up and said, will you come back and join the Blues Brothers band for all time's sake and help us open this club? I'm just thrilled to be here.
We realized that the campaign that we had run with the Hard Rock Cafe was absolutely appropriate for the 80s. Now we're in the 90s. People are looking for authenticity. We felt that this was the wrong way to break the name. In other words, we changed the formula from the hard rock. We felt that we had to actually produce culture if we were going to represent it. So in raising this money, we raised money also to start other divisions. One of them, a production company for film and radio. We have produced now with CBS Radio the first national blues show. It's again emceed by Elwood Blues, Dan Aykroyd. It's on major markets like WNEW in New York, The Loop in Chicago, KFOG in San Francisco, and others. We have determined that the media value alone in breaking the name is extraordinary. But this is the way that we want to break the name, using culture itself, producing culture. We have now 3 series in development for television, all 3 quite different. Again, based on blues, one called Live from the House of Blues, which is from New Orleans, and we're working with various companies in Hollywood to develop these shows. We've also developed a record company, which we are in final negotiations with actually 4 of the major labels, who all want the House of Blues as a franchise to launch blues music.
I think it's great. I think it's a great idea, and I think what Isaac Tygart is intending to do in terms of educating the public and the new generation, that we refer to the young generation, to educate them to the blues, to have a place for them to come and experience the blues and see the blues.
People are really into that raw, live sound and the camaraderie that is created in a really wonderful, tight room. We see this as a very important trend for the marketplace, which again, we're going to take advantage of and become the greatest live showroom in every town that we go into. We think that we have absolutely cracked the marketplace with how to combine this dining with live entertainment. It's intended that over the next 10 years we will have approximately 8 to 10 domestic in the United States units, and we'll probably have 4 to 6 in Europe. We will have a whole range of marked items which will say House of Blues. They will range from t-shirts, sweatshirts, caps, jackets, and a whole new range of other souvenirs which we develop ourselves. Of course, it wasn't very long with the Hard Rock Cafe before people wanted to start associating their product with our lifestyle trademark. It's important to understand that we created this genre through the Hard Rock Cafe. We've had 20 years of experience at doing this. No one else has had this experience but us. Again, we see only finding that correct company, the company that really mixes with us properly. We're giving a unique opportunity. It's not just that we have these great live music venues serving hundreds of thousands of people a month in various cities across the country and the world, but you also have an incredible restaurant. Coupled with this, the amazing record business that's available out there to us, the radio shows, the TV shows, it is now, in our opinion, the time to start looking for those partners who want to take that ride with us, who understand our abilities and who understand the demographics and who really understand the international appeal, because we do see this as an international company. We have done this already. We've taken a logo and an art form around the entire world successfully. There is no learning curve for us. Whoever is riding with us will also get the payday that we're looking for as well, which is, again, creating the brand, creating the umbrella, becoming the trademark that is synonymous with the blues culture worldwide.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah.